Hello and welcome to FD, where today we've put together a team of players with the highest potential on FIFA 20. We've gone for under 23s only, and we've made sure to pick players who specifically play in the positions listed. So, while Alphonso Davies can be converted into a left back, you won't find him in RXI. Let's kick it off. Goalkeeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma, 85 to 92. EA have been strong believers in Gianluigi Donnarumma since day one, giving the keeper a 76 rated gold card back in FIFA 17, which was released 5 months before he even turned 18. Now 20, the Italian has missed just 2 league games out of the last 114, and in 2018-19 conceded under a goal a game in Serie A, letting in just 34 in 36 appearances, subsequently earning himself an 85 base rating with a massive 92 potential. When you dig into those stats, that faith has been well earned. Donnarumma conceded those 34 league goals despite Milan allowing 38.4 expected goals in the time he was on the field, meaning he was close to 12% better than an average keeper that year. And that wasn't the first time outperforming expectations, as over the last 3 seasons, he's let in around 6 goals fewer than expected goals predicted, making his international reputation as the heir to Gigi Buffon and persistent interest from PSG less ridiculous than it appears at first glance. Valued at 50 million according to Transfermarkt, it's likely to take nearly twice that sum to get Donnarumma out the San Siro, thanks to a rumoured £88 million release clause in his contract. But at least you can see him wear your team's shirt on career mode. Right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold, 83 to 89. Far and away the most exciting fullback on the game, Trent Alexander-Arnold starts with a base rating of 83, the same as Timo Werner and Nicolas Pepe, and has the potential to reach 89, 1 point higher than Joshua Kimmich. That's unsurprising given the Liverpool native is still only 20 and enters his 3rd professional season as a Champions League winner, with just 13 losses to his name in 93 senior appearances. In fact, the right-back has more goal involvements for Liverpool than he does defeats, with 22 and 82 across the league and Champions League. The Englishman's delivery makes him dangerous from the flank and from set pieces, and while his 1.8 key passes a game in 2018-19 looked excellent, it pales in comparison to his present form, with the squad leading 4.2 chances created per 90 over the first 5 weeks of the domestic campaign. Inevitably, that has come at a cost. Successful challenges dropping from 3.5 a match to a genuinely poor 1.8, but it's clear that Klopp is willing to ask more of his other defenders to give TAA the chance to get forward, and it's a special fullback who gets the German to change his system just to get him into the final third. With Kyle Walker's form dropping and Kieran Trippier now 29, Alexander-Arnold is sure to battle Aaron Wan-Bissaka for England's right-back slot for a decade to come. And with talent like this, the youngster will hope to add to his trophy cabinet in the Premier League and next summer's European Championships. Centre-back, Matthijs de Ligt, 85 to 93. With Van Dijk rated at 90, the Netherlands boast the best centre-back on FIFA 20, and they also have the best young centre-back. De Ligt starts at 85 with the potential to reach 93, a meteoric rise for a player who debuted on FIFA 17 as a 63 rated 17-year-old. Though barely out of his teens, the Juventus man has a league and cup double to his name, appearances in a Europa League final and a Champions League semi, the Golden Boy Award and a €75 million price tag. A hefty resume for someone that would normally be entering his 3rd year of university. De Ligt is rated 18 every defensive category, and arguably his 84 physical actually underrates his power, which saw him score 7 goals in the 18-19 campaign and win 66% of his aerial duels in both the Eredivisie and the Champions League. And while Ajax's devastating attack earned headlines, it was the defence which took them to the brink of the final, with just 13 goals conceded in 12 games, 1 more than Liverpool and 4 fewer than Tottenham by the semis. A serious injury to Chiellini, an ageing midfielder, and new players yet to bed in have made De Ligt's start to life in Turin taxing. But the Dutchman is 2 years the junior of Chelsea youngster Tomori and has plenty of time to find success and silverware in Italy. Centre-back, William Saliba, 71 to 88. Unless you watch a ton of Ligue 1, chances are that you hadn't heard of William Saliba until Arsenal commenced their pursuit of him in May 2019. The Frenchman is just 18 years old, but already heading to the Premier League for £30 million, And though he starts FIFA 20 with a 71 rated silver card, the 6'4" centre-back has the capacity to hit 88 in career mode, meaning EA think he can match and even surpass the likes of Mats Hummels, Toby Alderweireld and Aymeric Laporte. Watching him, it's not hard to get excited. Though barely more than a boy, Saliba is 6'4" and quick too, having featured in central defence and the right-back spot for St Etienne last term. Learning his trade from underrated partner Loic Perrin, the youngster was the more aggressive defender, regaining possession around 4.5 times per 90 to Perrin's 3, and winning over 60% of his aerial duels, a tally which is likely to improve with experience given his physique. But Saliba is more Ferdinand than Vidic, capable of dribbling into midfield and hitting over 3 long balls a game while maintaining an 86% pass accuracy. An exciting proposition for Gunners fans tired of Socrates' sloppy distribution from the back. After conceding more than a goal a game in 7 of their last 10 campaigns, Arsenal need new blood soon. And with Tierney also boasting an 86 potential and Bellerin at 85, Saliba could one day find himself at the heart of the rarest of things, a competent Arsenal backline. Left back, Ryan Sessegnon, 75 to 86. The weakest spot in RXI, we rejected Alphonso Davies and Dan Axel Zagadou, who can both apparently play left back, to put Ryan Sessegnon in our team. Though the Englishman made just 6 of his 35 PL appearances last season in that position, Tottenham clearly see him as a long-term successor to Danny Rose on the flank, and his 86 potential and 87 sprint speed make him one of the most appealing young wide men on FIFA 20, though he starts rated at just 75. To become a top defender, the 19-year-old clearly has a lot of physical development to do. While he's 2 inches taller than Rose, he's a couple of kilos lighter, and that lack of muscle saw him struggle to beat his man last term, with only a 53% dribble success rate. He also failed to add much on the defensive end, with around 1.6 tackles and interceptions a game, while Rose was closer to 4. However, he is strong in attack, scoring 2 and assisting 6 in league play, and to have around a 0.3 expected goals and assists per game as a teenager in the top flight, especially from wide, indicates he's likely to become a major asset in attack. Pochettino's record at polishing up fullbacks is second to none, having turned Davies and Trippier into Champions League players. And in spite of his lack of experience, Sessegnon is more physically gifted than either of those players, and has 5 years left before he hits his peak. Expect this to be yet another success story at White Hart Lane. Central midfield, Frenkie de Jong, 85 to 91. Nearly a quarter of a century after a run to the final announced Clarence Seedorf and Edgar Davids to the world, a miraculous Champions League semi-final revealed to the wider football audience what Dutch fans already knew. Frenkie de Jong is a new breed of midfielder. The newly minted Barcelona star joined the Blaugrana for €75 million, having cost Ajax just €1 million 4 years earlier, a deal which saw Willem II cleverly snag 10% of the Barca windfall. While de Jong would be special as a passer or dribbler, it's his combination of talents which makes him unique, and EA have rewarded him with an 85 rating, which can raise to 91 in career mode. In the flesh, the midfielder has an uncanny ability to be wherever he's needed at just the right time, winning possession 5.5 times a game last year, completing 2 dribbles and moving the ball into the final third 14 times per match, even better than new teammate Arta on 10.6. His industry and athleticism comes at just the right time for Barca, with the once unbeatable Sergi Busquets starting to slow down, and with Messi in front of him and Longley and Piqué behind, de Jong will hope that he can follow in the footsteps of Dutch icons like Cruyff and Koeman in bringing European glory back to the Camp Nou. Central midfield, Phil Foden, 76 to 90. So, admittedly we said we'd only choose players in their specific position, and technically Phil Foden is a more attacking midfielder than a central midfielder on FIFA 20. However, the Englishman can feature in the middle of the park, and his potential rating of 90 represents an enormous vote of confidence in a youngster who has under 1,500 minutes as a professional player under his belt. However, Foden certainly has a fan in Pep Guardiola, who has called the 19-year-old the most talented player I have ever seen. And in his extremely limited time on the pitch, Foden has contributed 7 goals and 3 assists, and helped his club earn an average of 2.7 points per game, with 34 wins in his 38 appearances. He also exhibits all the composure on the ball you'd expect to see in a Guardiola favourite, with more than 60 passes a game and completes roughly 2.5 dribbles per 90 with a ridiculous 76% success rate, better than Fernandinho in his debut season at the Etihad back in 2013-14. For all England's talent in the forward and fullback positions, the Three Lions do have a noticeable weakness in the centre. giving Foden a clear path to the first team if he can make good on his exceptional promise. However, City fans can be forgiven for feeling a little anxious. Surely Foden can only watch Sancho shine at Dortmund for so long before wondering why his coach's praise never turns into more minutes on the field. Right wing, João Felix, 80 to 93. Keeping Jadon Sancho out of RXI is João Felix, whose insane 93 potential narrowly eclipses the Dortmund man's on 92. The Portuguese's rise has been even swifter than Sancho's, going from a Benfica reserve valued at just £1.8 million in 2018 to the third most expensive player of all time. This was largely thanks to half a season in which he contributed 26 goals and assists in 26 starts across the Liga NOS and Europa League. That gave him a goal involvement every 86 minutes, and his tallies of 3.5 shots and 1.5 key passes a game matched up nicely to Antoine Griezmann's 3.2 and 2, while the youngster also worked hard defensively up and down the right flank. In fact, despite the Cristiano Ronaldo comparisons, Felix's ability to be everywhere is reminiscent of Bernardo Silva, and though he was expected to struggle initially against tougher Spanish defences, he's improved his ball carrying in Madrid, turning a paltry 0.9 dribbles a match into 1.5, and racking up 0.6 expected goals per 90, more than Griezmann has managed at Barcelona to date. With Barca stuttering at the start line and Real Madrid paper thin in the centre of the park, Atleti will be hoping their brand new superstar can power them to another historic season in 1920. Central attacking midfield, Kai Havertz, 84 to 92. Many casual fans were staggered by Kai Havertz's obscene goal-scoring season in 18-19, with the German previously considered more midfielder than forward. However, the Leverkusen man has almost become a second striker over the last year, and his 17-goal haul in last season's Bundesliga saw EA upgrade his basic card from 79 to 81 during FIFA 19, and now to 84 in FIFA 20, potentially rising to 92. In our opinion, this makes him a must-buy for anyone who prefers a formation with a number 10. Havertz only turned 20 in June 2019, meaning his spectacular campaign was the most prolific teenage season in Bundesliga history, and the first to exceed 12 goals in 45 years. That was mostly a product of excellent finishing, with Havertz netting 5 more than expected goals predicted, and he also proved talented at moving the ball through midfield, with 1.5 dribbles completed each match. However, his status as a cam on FIFA seems a little misleading, as Havertz did relatively little creative work across the season, averaging just 1 key pass a game and picking up only 3 league assists, a tally bettered by 5 players, including right-back Lars Bender. Nonetheless, Havertz is at the heart of a scintillating Leverkusen attack, alongside Volland, Bellarabi and Bailey, while for the national team he can combine with Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sané, who have a 92 and 87 potential respectively on this year's FIFA. With such talent around him, and over 100 senior appearances already to his name, Havertz looks set to match, and maybe even surpass, the achievements of Thomas Muller. Left wing, Vinicius Jr., 79 to 92. Despite what Real Madrid fans might claim, Los Blancos could have had no idea their €46 million gamble on 16-year-old Vinicius Jr. would pay off so handsomely. The Brazilian had played around a quarter of an hour of senior football when Real came knocking, and though the club left him with Flamengo to continue his development, he eventually departed his homeland for the Bernabeu with just 14 goals to his name in 69 appearances. Hardly a strike rate which screamed the new Cristiano Ronaldo. However, that's exactly what he's starting to look like. With a sky-high 92 potential on FIFA 20, you expect to get the full attacking package from the 19-year-old, and his output in an erratic campaign for Real showed true superstar quality. In just under 900 minutes, Vinicius got only 2 goal involvements, but XG suggested he should have had over 5. That shakes out at 0.54 expected goals and assists per 90, thanks to an amazing 4.4 shots a game and 1.6 key passes. And he ranked 9th in Europe for completed dribbles each match, managing 4.3 despite having to adjust to a tougher league and better opponents. Though he's seen little action at the beginning of the 1920 season, the wide man's underlying numbers have already climbed to 0.69 expected goals per 90. That's better than Eden Hazard and Gareth Bale, and marking him out as a Real icon in the making. If reality matches up to prediction this season, Vinicius will be a household name by the time he turns 20. Forward, Kylian Mbappe, 89 to 95. Clearly and unsurprisingly, the highest rated player in our team, Kylian Mbappe starts FIFA 20 with one of the best cards, an 89 with 96 pace and 90 dribbling, and has the capacity to reach an incredible 95, higher than Leo Messi and the same as Pele and Maradona's icon cards. Long likened to Thierry Henry, the young Frenchman is both faster and more skillful than him on the game. And it's hard to say he hasn't earned it, with 163 club appearances and 93 goals to date. At the same point in his career, Henry had 122 appearances and 27 goals. Since he broke onto the scene with Monaco, Mbappe has registered a goal or assist every 81 minutes, including 14 in the Champions League, which means that at 20 years old, he's only 7 behind Luis Suarez and 11 behind Robin van Persie in the competition. And while he was hitting over 3 shots a game in his first season as a regular on the South Coast, he now averages around 5 a game, with 4 coming from inside the box, as well as completing 2.5 dribbles and creating more than 2 chances. All this combined to give him a tally of 33 league goals and 1.33 expected goals per 19-18-19. Making him just the 4th player to pass 30 in a Ligue 1 campaign in the last 40 years. For once, the comparisons with Messi are justified, and it's reasonable to argue that Mbappe has become the 2nd best player in the world before his 21st birthday. EA may be putting his ceiling at 95, but in reality, that ceiling may not exist. So guys, that was our FIFA 20 highest potential XI, but who are you most looking forward to playing with on the game? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, then click on screen now for more great Football Daily content, and as ever, don't forget to like and subscribe.